बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात।
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात। आबाद हुई करबो बला उजरा मदीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। ज़ैनब को नरासाया मुहर्रम का महीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। एक दिन था कि इस शेर की मैं करती थी मैं शाही और आज तबाही बेगुस्ल परा मोरे नबूवत का नगीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। किस लाश पे रोऊं किसे छोड़ूं मैं बिरादर। लाशें है 72 हद ये है कि रोने की इजाज़त भी मिली ना बर्बाद हुई मैं। असगर का गला भाई का सर सीना अकबर सब गो हरो चादर। इस दश्त में लूटा गया ज़ैनब का खजीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। माए बिना पहचान सकी बच्चों के चेहरे बिखरे हुए सेहरे है खून की दरिया में गरी बो का सफीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। चादर छिने डुर्रे लगे अब जुल्म न ढाओ बाबा से मिलाओ। नेज़े के तले बैठ के रोती है सकीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। आबाद हुई करबो बला उजरा मदीना बर्बाद हुई मैं। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम।
محمد وآل محمد صلوات. सांस रुलाता है ज़ैनब तेरी गुर्बत का दम खूब बरा बीबी भाई की मोहब्बत का बेटों को फिदा करके शुक्राना बजा लाई चलता है पता इसे ज़ैनब तेरी अज़मत का पामाल हुआ लाशा फर्जंदे पैगंबर का उम्मत ने दिया शायद ये अज्र रिसालत का बेजा था सकी नाने पानी न चचा लाए एहसास नहीं बाकी अब प्यास की शिद्दत का झूले से गिरे असगर कोहराम है खईमे में बच्चे को ख्याल आया बाबा की रिफाकत का दफना चुका असगर को अब को ही नहीं बाकी अंदाज़ा करे कोई शब्बीर की हालत का एहसास रुलाता है ज़ैनब तेरी गुर्बत का मोहम्मद व मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our guest speaker, Dr. Mithani, respected elders, my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll have the ladies' morning majlis starting at 11 a.m. The evening program will start at 6 p.m. inshallah. The Niyaz fund for tonight is open. Please see the chart outside. We're also requesting the family contribution of $200 per family. Of course, any amount donated will be appreciated. On Sunday, inshallah, we'll have the majlis for ladies and gents at the Washington Memorial Cemetery, beginning at 11 a.m. And then we have two housekeeping announcements. One is an announcement specifically for the ladies who are attending the morning ladies majalis programs at the Mehfil in Almont. Please do not park on Meacham Avenue. It is creating a lot of congestion and inconveniencing neighbors who are already complaining to us. Please respect the request to park in the free public parking lot, which is directly across the Mehfil. So again, please don't park on Meacham Avenue itself, outside the Mehfil. Park in the public parking lot across the Mehfil. And for the programs that we have at night, we're also having some problem with congestion outside the ladies' entrance. Thank you. When we are having the pickup time after the program. So we're please requesting you keep that area available for those who want to pick up the elderly, the disabled, or those with young children. And when you do pick them up, please move away to allow others to use that space. We will have 2 volunteers who will be waiting there to help direct the traffic. Please respect their directions. Tonight's Surah Yasin was recited for Ithal Thawab of Marhum Haider Ali Rajbali Darsi, Marhum Amir Ali Rajbali Darsi, and all Marhumain, sponsored by Darsi family. Also for Marhum Hussain Haji Jafar, Marhumin of Hasham Jafar family, and Marhumin of Pyari Devji family, sponsored by family members. Al-Fatiha. There's also a specific request for Dua Shifa for a young member of our community who is unwell, for that person and also for all others who are in need of duas. Let's please recite ayat of Amin Yujibu all together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amma yujibul mustarra idha da'ahu wa yakshifu as-su. Amma yujibul mustarra idha da'ahu wa yakshifu as-su. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
سورة المباركة الفاتحة. Once again, I ask you to recite Fatiha for Shafai Mariz, for all those who are in difficulties, all those who have problems with their health, and they are going through some kind of procedures, some who are going to go for procedures in the near future. Some of them have already approached me, and also members of the family of the mu'mineen that are gathered here, who may have members who have difficulties or they have illnesses. In particular, I ask you also to remember my mother, who's also quite sick at the present time. And for all of those people, let us recite one Surah Fatiha for Shafai Mariz, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع المذنبين وخاتم النبيين نبينا وشفينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فإليك يا رب نسبت وجهي وإليك يا رب مددت يدي. فبعزتك استجب لدعائي وبلغني منايا ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاؤه المقى. يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقام يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم. صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بي ما أنت أهل. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد وهو أصدق الصادقين وقوله الحق. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون. آمنا بالله وصدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد. Respected scholars, elders of the community, my brothers and sisters in Islam, Salamun alaykum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمسابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام. The pursuit of knowledge is highly dignified in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, which is the ayah that I recited, He says that are those who know and those who do not know alike? It is of course a rhetorical question, right? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses. Are those who know and those who do not know, are they alike? The hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wherein he says that the seeking of knowledge or the pursuit of knowledge is an obligation for all believing men and women. He has not in this hadith said the pursuit of Islamic knowledge. He has just said the pursuit of knowledge is an obligation for all believing men and women. So it is important to understand the pursuit of knowledge in the context of how the Holy Prophet has outlined it. Because every knowledge that you pursue, it all depends on your mindset and how you are looking at that piece of knowledge that you are pursuing. Because if you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as ilm, Allah is knowledge, then every knowledge emanates from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because all knowledge emanates from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means that if you are in pursuit of knowledge, you will be manifesting His name of Al-Alim, right? And because you will be manifesting that name, you will get closer to Him. That's the important thing that we need to understand. So, not everybody needs to become an Islamic scholar. Not everybody needs to be a Maulana. Because he's not saying here that the pursuit of Islamic knowledge is obligation. He says the pursuit of knowledge is obligation. It is an obligation in this hadith because it is an important aspect of your self-development. On how you develop yourself will be determined by how much knowledge that you have. The less knowledge you have, the less capacity you will have to develop yourself. And you will see from, human psychology, if you look at human psychology, they will tell you that knowledge is something that everybody desires. Everyone wants to be knowledgeable, right? You will not have a human being who will say to you, I'm good just being an ignorant person. It is in the fitrah, right? It is in the nature of every human being. It is in their characteristic that actually separates them from other creations. That characteristic of the pursuit of knowledge. And then the Prophet says something very interesting after that. He says, the knowledgeable person, look at what he's saying. It's very important to understand. And I know I'm going a little bit faster today because I want to make sure that I'm on time. I went a little bit over time yesterday. I got told off about it. But, so I just want to make sure that I'm on time today, and I'm not sure I'll make it. But inshallah, may Allah help me. The Holy Prophet said that the knowledgeable person is superior to the worshipper. The knowledgeable person is superior, so an alim, right, a person who has knowledge, is more superior to an abid, a person who is a worshipper, by 70 degrees, the Prophet says. And the distance between each degree, he says, spans the gallop of one horse for 70 years. Now, of course, in that time, he gives the example of a horse, Today you can maybe, translate it or interpret it in the context of maybe a car or whatever, right? But 70 degrees, and each degree, they separates itself by a gallop of a horse for 70 years. That is how much a knowledgeable person is superior to a person who is a worshipper, but who worships without knowledge. This is, of course, because, shaitan, the Prophet said that when shaitan plants an innovation in the heart of a human being, the knowledgeable person is able to distinguish what is right from what is wrong. But the abid, the worshipper who doesn't have knowledge, he will just continue to practice that innovation. And look at Shaitan himself, yeah? Shaitan himself, was he not a great abid? He was, wasn't he? I mean, the worship of Shaitan was at its pinnacle. I mean, he was a jinn, and he was given a space amongst the angels. Why? Because of his worship. The problem with Shaitan was, he was not an alim. He did not have ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because had he had that understanding and that knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, had he known Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he would not have gone against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in order to understand this, let's look at it in a different way. Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many places in the Holy Quran, he says that Allah in many places in the Holy Quran has said that if a human being creates a level of goodness within himself, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enlighten him with his knowledge. When a person creates goodness with himself, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala infuses knowledge into the heart of that person. But then Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli says that there are three categories of people who are wretched when the truth is presented to them, when haqq is presented to them, there are three categories of people who are wretched. The first category is of those people who, when the truth is presented to them, they just close their ears and they shut their eyes and they don't want to hear the truth. And you saw this in the time of the Holy Prophet, right? When the Holy Prophet announced, his prophethood, and when he announced the religion of Islam, there were people who were told at that time, just close your ears and don't listen to this man. And they were told that if he preaches, just make noise, play music, play the drums, play something, but just try and dampen his voice so that you don't hear what he has to say. That is the first group of people who, when the truth is presented to them, they don't want to listen. They just want to ignore it. We are like that somehow. Not you. I'm talking about myself, of course. Sometimes we are like that, right? Because we think, if I don't know, then I can't be responsible for it. We become smart, right? So we say to ourselves, well, I'm just not going to know. It's better for me not to know. Because if I don't know, then I'm not going to be responsible for it. So I'll just, live my life merrily the way I'm doing. The second group of people is that group which hears the truth, which understands the truth. So when they hear the truth, they understand the truth, they know the truth, but they are not willing to act upon the truth. Not only are they not willing to act upon the truth, they reject the truth and they are willing to fight against it. The classic example of this is Umar ibn Sa'ad in Karbala. Umar ibn Sa'ad, he was not an ordinary man. He was an alim of his time. He was a faqih. People used to go to him to ask masalas of fiqh. He was not an ordinary man. When Imam Hussein alayhi salam meets with him on the night of Ashura and Imam Hussein asks him, do you know who I am? He says very clearly, I know who you are. I know who you are. And he articulates to Imam Hussein as to who he is. He knows the truth. He understands the truth, but he has rejected the truth. No, he has not only rejected the truth, he is even ready to fight against it. Second group of people. The third group of people, Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli says, this is the most dangerous group. This is the group that hears the truth, but now has lost the capacity to distinguish what is right from what is wrong. They have lost that capacity to even distinguish that this is the truth. And the classic example of this is Yazid. He had completely lost that capacity of actually even distinguishing what is right from wrong, even when the truth was presented to him. These are the three groups that Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli has outlined. We have to see where we are in the continuum of these three groups. This is the reflection that we need to do. Where are we in these three groups? Because all of these three groups, if you look at the army of Yazid in Karbala, they were all present in Karbala. Different levels of this type of people, wretched people, were present in the army of Yazid in Karbala. We need to reflect to see, are we in any one of these groups or not? Because there are three different groups and there are three main reasons why you would become one of these people in one of these groups. And I'm not saying which group you are in or which group I'm in, because I'm still reflecting on which group I'm in. Right? But there are three major reasons as to why you would become one of these people in these groups. The first reason is the reason of deficiency in their moral and ethical character. The fact that they were inhuman in their character. When your moral and ethical character is corrupted, then when the truth even comes to you, you will not be able to understand the truth, or you will reject, you will understand the truth, you will know the truth, but you will reject it because of your character. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said, وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا وَأَسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسَهُمْ ظُلْمًا وَأُلُوًّا. Look at the words Allah is using. فَانْظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. In this ayah of the Quran, Allah is speaking of the people of Pharaoh and his men. Allah is speaking of Pharaoh and his men who rejected the truth despite having yaqeen. The word Allah is using, وَأَسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا, right? That they had yaqeen, they had certitude, they knew the truth, Allah is saying. The Pharaoh and the people. They knew the truth, but they rejected the truth. Why did they reject the truth? Because Allah is saying, because of zulman wa uluwa, which means that they were unjust to themselves, they were unjust to their own nafs, and they were arrogant, haughty. They were arrogant, and because of that arrogance and injustice to their own souls, even though they had yaqeen, they rejected the truth. On the day of Ashura, there is a moment on the day of Ashura, if you look at the Maqatil, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, everybody has been martyred. Everybody has been martyred. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, even Ali Asghar has been martyred. Imam Hussein alayhi salam now is in the battlefield. And he gets struck in the battlefield. And he's lying on the ground. And his body is motionless on the ground. The army of Yazid does not know whether Imam alayhi salam is alive or if he has passed away. So they come to Umar ibn Sa'd. They say, Hussein ibn Ali, he's on the ground. His body is motionless, but we do not know if he's alive or if he's passed away. And he said, we are scared to go close to him, because what if he's alive? So we don't want to go close to him. So Umar ibn Sa'd says to these people, don't worry. I know how to find out if Hussein is alive or if he's not alive. He says, I want you to go towards the tents of the women folk of Hussein and start looting and burning the tents of the women folk of Hussein. For if Hussein is alive, his zeal will not allow him to have this kind of atrocity take place with his women folk. So as these people, this army of Yazid, as they move towards the tent of Abu Abdullah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, out of the corner of his eyes, he sees the army of Yazid moving towards the tent. And with all his courage and his strength, he puts himself up on his elbows. He raises himself up on his elbows and he makes a statement. And this statement is a historic statement that he makes. He says, وَيْلَكُمْ يَا شِيَةِ آلِ أَبِي سُفْيَانَ. Woe be to you, all the followers of Abu Sufyan. إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلَا تَخَافُونَ فِي الْمَآدِ فَكُونُوا أَحْرَارًا فِي دُنْيَاكُمْ. Look at what he's saying. He says that if you do not have the religion of Allah within you, in lam yakun lakum dinukum, if you are not on the religion of God, وَلَا تَخَافُونَ فِي الْمَعَادِ, and you do not fear the day of judgment, you do not fear the day of Qiyamah, فَكُونُوا أَحْرَارًا فِي دُنْيَاكُمْ, at least be a free human being. At least be a free human being. Be free from your animalistic desires. Be free from your malices and your vices and your passions. And this shocked the group. This shocked the group. History says that the people were talking to each other and said, what an amazing statement by Hussein ibn Ali. See, here Imam identified three categories of people, right? There is a category of people, either you are in the deen of Allah, right? Either you're in the religion of God and you believe in the day of Qiyamah. One group. There is another group that he is saying is those people who are not on the religion of God and they have no fear of the day of Qiyamah. But then he said there is a third group, and that's the group who are at least free human beings. Now we can ask Abu Abdullah the question, right? We can say to Abu Abdullah, oh Abu Abdullah, this group that you are talking to, the army of Yazid, where you say, in lam yakun lakum dinukum, if you are not on the religion of God, wala takhafuna fil ma'ad, if you do not have fear of the day of judgment, these are Muslims. They are Muslims. They fast in the holy month of Ramadan. They have the marks of sujood on their forehead. This is history. They were the Qari of Quran. Many in the army of Yazid knew the Quran by heart. They were the Qari of Quran. So why are you saying to them, in lam yakun lakum dinukum, wala takhafun al-ma'ad? They are already on the religion. It seems that the definition of religion of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is a little different from the way we define religion. Because what he's saying is that even though they may have, they may be the Qari of Quran, they may be fasting in the month of Ramadan, they may be establishing their prayers, even though they have that, they do that without knowledge. They have no ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this type of act, Ayatollah Mutahari, this type of act that is carried out by these people is an inhuman act. These people are not even human beings. If we therefore want to achieve spirituality, if we want to ascend in our spiritual life, the first thing that we have to do is actually develop a basic level of morality and ethical character. Because if you don't have that moral and ethical character, then you're going to be like people of Yazid, where even when the truth comes in front of you, you will not be able to act upon it. You will reject it because you're not human. So the first reason of these three categories that Ayatollah Jawadi Amali identifies are those people who have low moral and ethical character. The second reason, of course, that you may be identified in one of these three groups is because of constant and persistent sinning. When you constantly sin, and you persistently sin, when a person continuously sins, then his heart becomes dark. And his heart becomes dark, and the person loses faith completely. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seals that heart. There is no access then. You don't want to be in that situation, man. It's not a good place to be. Right? Look at what Allah says in the Holy Quran. ثُمَّ كَانَ عَاقِبَةَ الَّذِينَ اسْتَوَاءَ السوء أن كذبوا بآيات الله وكانوا بها يستهزئون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, chapter 30, ayat number 10. In the Holy Quran, He says that, it talks about the people who continuously and perpetually sin to the extent that their hearts are darkened and they're sealed. And they are the ones, when their hearts are darkened and sealed, they have perpetually sinned. These are the people who, when the truth comes to them, this Quran, when the truth comes to them, they deny and reject the truth and they ridicule it. They make fun of it. And sometimes we have become so good that if there is a part of religion that we don't understand, we start to make fun of it. This is the same verse that Janab Zainab salamullahi alayha, when she was brought in the court of Yazid, these are the verses that she recited to Yazid. Because Yazid said to Janab Zainab, he said that the Hashemites have played a game for acquiring power and rulership. And he says that there neither came any message, there was no messenger, and there was no revelation from heaven. This is what Yazid said to her. There was nothing. And the response of Zainab to Yazid is that your perpetual and continuous sinning has darkened your heart in such a way that now you have rejected the truth and you are ridiculing the truth. There is a great, great azab for you. That's the second reason. The third reason why you can be in one of these groups is the attachment to the dunya. This obsession with worldly and base desires. Worldly and base desires. Attachment to this dunya. Cannot let go. That doesn't mean you should not be driving a Beamer 747, right? Or whatever it is, 745i. You should drive it. But to have obsession, be attached to the world, to be attached to this dunya in a way that you have now bargained your deen for the dunya. That's the problem. And a very good example of this is from the Quran about a person by the name of Bal'am ibn Ba'ur or Ba'uru. Bal'am was one of these people. It has been described in Surah Arafah, ayat 175 to 177. See, Bal'am has been described in these verses as a parable in the Quran with that of a dog. Who's Bal'am? Bal'am was actually a person in the time of Prophet Musa, in the time of Moses. He was a great alim, great person. He was the one who taught the ulama. So he was the alim of the alims. Not a small thing, eh? He was an alim. In some narrations, if you look at some of the narrations of tafsir, it says that he could even see the divine angels once upon a time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had shown him one of his great signs. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown him, had blessed him with one of those great signs, he was one of those people who would be able to do dua and his dua would be accepted. So the people would come to Bal'am when they had a haja, when they wanted to have a supplication, they would come to Bal'am and they would say to Bal'am, do dua for us so that our duas get accepted. He slowly started to deviate and become closer to Fir'aun. And there came a time when the people told him to pray against Musa, because his dua was going to be mustajab. He had that power. So initially when they came to him and said, we want you to pray against Musa, he refused. But then they started to tempt him. And they started to shower gifts on him. And they gave him tokens and gifts and wealth and money and all of these things. As they started to shower gifts to him, he started to move and deviate more towards Fir'aun. Some narrations say that his wife was also manipulated to pressurize him to accept this request. Blinded by the love of his wife and the wealth and other things that were given to him of the dunya, he finally surrendered. And he did dua against Musa. But his dua, of course, was rejected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah in this particular ayat of Surah Araf, Allah says and describes this in detail. His name is not mentioned, but this tafsir talks about it that it's being this person. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, he was stripped. His blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him, his spiritual and ruhani gift that Allah had given him was basically taken away from him. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I gave him a blessing and he used that blessing against me and with shaitan. He used it against me and he started to use that blessing in the favor of shaitan and not in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this person then became degenerated spiritually, that he became dog-like. The Quran talks about that, right? It says, for example, in the Quran, أخلد إلى الأرض واتبع حوانه فمثله كمثل الكلب إن تحمل عليه يلحث أو تتركه يلحث. What is Allah saying in the Quran? He says that these people are like those dogs whose tongues are always out. You ever seen a dog? Sometimes his mouth is open and his tongue is always out. And Allah says they lull their tongues whether they are with you or whether they are alone. They are never satisfied. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this, and He says in the Quran, this person is a person like that. Why? Because he had attachment to the dunya. Imam Muhammad Baqir, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, he says, that though these verses relate to Bal'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends to set an example for those who receive true guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet they prefer to act according to their own desires in order to lay hands on their worldly gains. The Imam is saying it is your base desires that even after having the blessings that Allah has given you, you have now utilized those blessings towards shaitan. And Allah says that when you do that, then I will destroy you. I will degenerate you. And it's just a matter of time. The sunnah of Allah is what? When you get attached to the dunya, right? Allah first gives you more of it. He gives you more of it so that you are immersed in it. And then He gives you more of it. And some people think, oh, this is a blessing of God. It's not a blessing of God. It is the fact that Allah is giving you more because He wants you now to understand that if you are using this against Allah and you're using it for shaitan, then there will be a time when we will destroy you. And you see this example in Umar ibn Sa'ad, right? In Karbala. Because Umar ibn Sa'ad, despite knowing who Hussein is, despite having knowledge of Abu Abdullah, he was so attracted to power, position, and possessions. He was given the governorship, or he was promised to have the governorship of Rai, which is a huge piece of land in southern Tehran right now. Because he was given that, even though he knew who Hussein was, his attachment to the dunya was such that he was not able to forsake it. Sometimes, when we are faced in a situation where there is a little bit of tension between our beliefs in Islam and the sins that we are committing, we don't want to forsake our attachments to this dunya, so we give up, we sell Islam. We sell it cheap, man. It's really cheap. Deen is cheap to sell. We sell it cheaply because we are not ready to forsake our attachments. Understand the fact that, Allah infuses knowledge into the human being so that the human being is able to distinguish what is right from what is wrong. And it clearly means that because Allah is ilm, and ilm is a manifestation of one of His names, the more we manifest that names in us, the closer we get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so there are some conditions to acquire knowledge. What should I do in my pursuit of knowledge? What should I maximize? What should I optimize in my pursuit of knowledge? And I want to give you very few points. The first point is seeking knowledge must be only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? That's the first thing. If you want knowledge, seek knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if you seek knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be manifesting Him and you will get closer to Him. It's like a doctor, for example, right? I'll give you an example of a physician because I'm a physician and that's the best example that I can think of. The Almighty has blessed the believing physician with a means to reflect His names and attributes within Himself, right? As the physician heals the ailments of his patient, right? As the physician treats his patient, right? If the physician is able to see that his treatment of his patient is just a manifestation of the name of Allah Al-Shafi, if the physician is able to understand that the effect of that treatment is not from him, the effect of that treatment is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is just the wasila, He is just the means through which Allah is providing treatment for that patient, then that physician will never have the akhlaqi character of arrogance. And there are physicians, I don't know if there are physicians in this room or not, but then, one of the problems with physicians is they can be quite arrogant. Now, I can say that because I'm a physician, right? If he understands that this pill that I'm giving to lower this person's cholesterol, it's not an effect from me. The effect in that pill has been put by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am just the means through which I am making this particular treatment. Then it becomes knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can do anything, whatever profession you're in, even if you're a businessman, understand, even if you're a businessman, that that's the reason you don't cheat. Because as you do business with people, if you are just in your ways that you do business, then you are manifesting the name of Allah, which is Al-Adl. And as you manifest His name, understand that that gift is from Allah, it is not from you. The second thing is the development of a moral and ethical character, right? Trying to reflect the names and attributes of Allah within yourself. To become godly in your character. Not just goodly, but to become godly in your character. That is another way of doing it, right? The third thing is, stay away from perpetual sinning. Continuous sinning. To the extent that your heart becomes sealed, that your heart becomes darkened. Understand that you will slip. There will be times when you will slip, but also understand that in His ultimate mercy and in His ultimate grace, He has opened the doors of tawbah and istighfar for you. This is how merciful your Lord is. Perpetual sinning is a problem. Tawbah and istighfar is a means of purification for you. The fourth thing that you need to understand is be sensitive to the needs of your community. Understand this, and I'm saying this especially for the youth, and I know it's tough. One of the responsibilities that you have, my friends, is you have the responsibility to see what is it that my community needs. If you see that my community needs a doctor, then perhaps that's the profession you should strive towards. If you see that my community needs a nurse, then that's the profession you should strive towards. Understand, Ayatollah Mutahari. Ayatollah Mutahari says, that on the day of judgment, you will asked to be, to give your account, right? What have you done? What have you not done, right? Your good deeds, your bad deeds, right? But Ayatollah Mutahari says, you will not only be asked as an individual, you will be brought to Allah as a community as well. And as a community, you will be asked, what did you do for your community? You will be accountable for it. And if you have been one of these people who have not been beneficial to the community, then you will be answerable. Understand this. Ayatollah Mutahari talks about this. The fifth thing is greed. Control the greed. Because it is greed, it's not, and this is for the youngsters, right, as they are looking into careers and things like that. It's not all about just making money. It's not all about making money at any cost. Do not sell your deen cheaply for the dunya. Do not sell it. It's far too precious. Your life begins with an azan that does not have a salat. And it ends with the salat that does not have an azan. That's the span of your life. The time between adhan and salat, that's your life. There's bigger things to achieve than just be focused on money. I'll do anything to make money. We need to be beyond that. The sixth point is have patience. The Holy Prophet says that one who cannot be patient in the pursuit of knowledge for even 1 hour will be ignorant forever. As you pursue knowledge, you will always be challenged, right? It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to balance your time. There's going to be less time for social media, right? There'll be less time for Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp and whatnot, right? You have to be patient. There are no shortcuts, and there are no short corners to cut. It's all about how you commit yourself. Number 7, find a suitable time to pursue knowledge. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Decide what it is and use that time as a time that you outline to pursue knowledge. Number 8, make sure that your environment is proper, and this is especially for the students, right? The environment has to be comfortable and soothing and quiet. It's essential. Cleanliness of your room is important because it means a conducive environment to the pursuit of knowledge, right? The light in your room, the temperature of the room, the comfort zone is very, very important. And being, number 9, being spiritually clean and physically clean. Don't not take a shower for 7 days. You gotta take a shower, man, because it helps you with the pursuit of knowledge. But what is important is that you become spiritually clean. When you want to acquire knowledge, be in wudu. It has a huge impact on you to acquire knowledge. And the last thing, number 10, these are 10 steps that I've given you. The last thing is seek the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the holy prophets and the Ahlul Bayt. Seek their help through the holy prophets and the Ahlul Bayt if you want to pursue knowledge. Rabbi zidni ilman, right? We said, the holy prophet has said, right? What a beautiful thing. Increase my knowledge, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is a beautiful dua from our 4th Imam, Imam Sajjad salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, where he says, Allahumma akhrijni min zulumatil waham wa akrimni bin nuril faham. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشرنا علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. What a beautiful dua. The 4th Imam says that, oh Allah, remove me from the darkness of empty thoughts and ennoble me with the light of knowledge. And then he says, oh my Lord, open for us your doors of mercy and provide us with the treasures of your knowledge. Allahu Akbar. The treasures of your knowledge, because everything comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Easy dua to remember. Allahumma akhrijni min zulumatil waham wa akrimni bi nuril faham. Allahumma aftah alayna abwaba rahmatik wa anshurna alayna khaza'ina ulumik bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. This is when you ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is how we do this. The pursuit of knowledge, understanding that we don't want to be part of those 3 groups. And we are aware of the causes of why people get into those groups, where there is the truth and you are rejecting and fighting against the truth. Or you have lost the ability even to distinguish what is right from what is wrong. And this is what you see in Karbala. This is why Hussein leaves Medina. This is why he goes towards Karbala. This is why Hussein and his caravan is such that he has said that I am here to reform the people. I'm here to reform my ummah. And it is on this time when he leaves, he goes to the grave of his mother Fatima al-Zahra. And as he goes to the mother's grave of Fatima al-Zahra, he sits on the grave and he weeps profusely. He weeps profusely and he says to his mother, oh my mother, Hussein is going to leave Medina. And he is now going to leave Medina, and you know that this journey is that journey where I will not be returning back. And he talks to his mom, the same mother that, when Janab Fatima al-Zahra was passing away. When Janab Fatima al-Zahra had passed away and Amir al-Mu'mineen had given the ghusl to Fatima al-Zahra and he had given the kafan to Fatima al-Zahra, he called his children. He said, "Oh Zainab, oh Kulsum, oh Hassan and Hussein, come and pay your last respects to your mother. Pay your last respects to your mother." Hussein, Imam Hassan came forward. Bibi Zainab came forward. Kulsum came forward. But Imam Hussein stayed in one corner. He did not come forward. And Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at Imam Hussein and he said, "Oh Hussein, come and pay the last respects to your mother." And Hussein said to Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said, "Oh my father, until my mother Fatima al-Zahra calls me, I will not come." And the Muwarrikhin say that there was a voice that came out from the body of Fatima al-Zahra, and she said, "Oh my Hussein, come to me so that you can pay the last respect." This is Hussein leaving Medina. On the 2nd of Muharram, the caravan reaches a place in Iraq, and the horse of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is not going forward. The horse is stuck in one place. And Imam Hussein says to the horse, "Let's move forward." But the horse is not moving forward. Some historians say that Imam Hussein changes from one horse to another, but none of the horses are moving forward. At that time, Imam alayhi salam dismounts his horse and he asks Zuhair ibn Kain, he says, "Oh Zuhair, what is the name of this place?" And Zuhair says to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, he says, "Oh Abu Abdullah, I don't know the name of this place, but I know there is an old man here who may be aware of what this place is called. He's from the Banu Asad tribe. Let me go and get him." Zuhair goes and gets this old man. When Hussein sees this old man, he says to this old man, he says, "Tell me, what is the name of this place?" The old man says, "This place is known as Ghazariya." And Imam Hussein alayhi salam says to him, "Is there another name for this place?" He says, "Yes, this place is also known as Shattul Furat." Then Imam Hussein says to him, No, there must be another name for this place." And the man says, "Yes, this place is also known as Nainawa." But then Imam Hussein says, "Is there any other name for this place?" And this man says that this place is known as Karbala. When Imam Hussein hears Karbala, he comes down, he sits on the ground of Karbala, and he says to his people, "We are going to keep our camps in this place, for Hussein has reached his goal. Hussein has reached that state. This is where we are going to be." When Janab Zainab hears this, Janab Zainab takes the parda of the mahmil, she takes the veil of the mahmil, and she says to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, she says, "Oh my brother Hussein, I want us to leave from here." And Janab Zainab, when Janab Zainab says this, Imam Hussein says, "Oh Zainab, why is it that you want to leave from here?" And Janab Zainab says that as soon as we have stopped here, I have a level of anxiety and agitation within myself. I don't like this place. We want to leave from here. And Abu Abdullah says to Zainab, "Oh Zainab, this is not a place that we will be leaving from, for it is this place that you will see the martyrdom of Hussein." He takes Zuhair ibn Kain and he says to Zuhair ibn Kain, "Oh Zuhair, come, let me show you some places." Zuhair ibn Kain goes through Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. He comes to a place and he says, "Zuhair, this is the place where my Qasim's body will be trampled by horses." And then he goes to another place and he says to Zuhair ibn Kain, "Oh Zuhair, this will be the place where the 7 arms of Abbas will be gathered by myself at this particular place. But then Hussein comes to one place. He sits on the ground of Karbala and he starts to weep. And he starts to weep profusely. And Zuhair says, "Oh, Aba Abdullah, what is this place?" And Imam Hussein says, "Oh, Zuhair, this is the place where a spear will be struck on the chest of my Aliyun al-Akbar, and I will have to take the spear out from my Aliyun al-Akbar." ज़ादारो, इमाम ने उस ज़मीन को ख़रीदा और वहाँ के जो लोग थे उससे कहा कि देखो, हम यहाँ शहीद होने वाले हैं। बनु असद के लोगों को एक मर्तबा जमा किया और कहा कि देखो, हम यहाँ शहीद होने वाले हैं। अगर आपके पास कुछ ह्यूमैनिटी है, आपके अंदर कुछ इंसानियत है, तो हमें कफन और दफन दे देना, हमें कफन और दफन दे देना। फिर एक अजीब काम करते हैं इमाम हुसैन। अब अब्दुल्ला जाके बनु असद की बीबियों को जमा करते हैं, और जब बनु असद की बीबियां जमा हुई है तो एक मर्तबा हुसैन ने बीबियों से कहा कि देखो, ये तो ऐन मुमकिन है कि आपके शौहर जो है वो यजीद के डर से यजीद से डर जाए। अगर ये हो तो आप इसरार करना कि हमें दफन और कफन मिल जाए। लेकिन कितना मजलूम है मेरा इमाम। एक मर्तबा मेरे इमाम ने देखा कि वहां छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं जो खेल रहे हैं। इमाम एक मर्तबा बच्चों के पास आते हैं, जमीन पे बैठ गए, जमीन पे बैठ गए। एक मर्तबा बच्चों को कहा कि मेरे इर्द गिर्द आ जाओ। बच्चे सब इमाम हुसैन के पास आए। इमाम ने कहा, देखो, हमारी लाशें इस जमीन करबला में होगी। ये मुमकिन है कि तुम्हारे बाप और तुम्हारी माएं यजीद के डर से हमें दफन और हमें कफन न दे सके। लेकिन इमाम ने कहा कि देखो, अगर ऐसा हो तो खेलते खेलते अपने छोटे छोटे नन्हे नन्हे हाथों में मुट्ठी भर ले लेना, मुट्ठी भर ले लेना, और खेलते खेलते खाक को अपनी मुट्ठी में लेके हमारी लाशों पे डाल देना, ताकि हमें कफन और हमें दफन मिल जाए। सयअलमुल्लज़ीना ज़लमू अय्यामन यनक़लिबून इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन। मातम हुसैन या हुसैन।
बुला कर सब को हजरत ने कहा है करबला वालों, हमें दरकार है थोड़ी सी जाए करबला वालों, बुला कर सब कहाँ कर इरादा है इसी जंगल में अपना घर बनाएंगे। इरादा है इसी जंगल में अपना घर बनाएंगे। नहीं ता हश्र अब तुमसे जुदा है करबला वालों, बुला कर सब हज़रत ने कहा है करबला वालों। आखिर मरने वालों को न रोको, रहने दो खुदारा। मरने वालों को न रोको, रहने दो मुझे लाई यहाँ मेरी कज़ा ऐ कर बाला वालों भुला कर। हम उठ जाएंगे जब यहाँ से तो फिर सब चैन उठाएंगे। हम उठ जाएंगे जब यहाँ से तो फिर सब चैन उठाएंगे। बनेगी खाक ये खाके शफाए कर बला वालों। रहेगी ताब चहलुम लाश दे गोरो कफन सबकी। रहेगी ताब चहलुम लाश दे गोरो कफन सबकी। मेरे नामों से होंगे बेरिदाए कर बाला वालों बुला कर। मैं छुप जाऊंगा एक एक मुट्ठी खाक हम उड़ाएंगे। मैं छुप जाऊंगा अगर एक एक मुट्ठी खाक उड़ाएंगे। यूं ही बन जाएगा मरकाद मेरा ऐ कर भला वालों बुला कर। मिलेगा चैन बादे मरग़बी मुझको न तुरबत में। मिलेगा चैन बादे मरग़बी मुझको न तुरबत में। हिलेगा हश्र तक मरकाद मेरा ऐ कर बला वालों।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलाम वालेकुम या मौला या अमीर अल-मुमिनीन, अस्सलाम वालेकुम या मौलाती या फातिमत ज़हरा सय्यदती निसाइल आलमीन, अस्सलाम वालेकुम या अबा मुहम्मद अल हसन इब्न अली, अस्सलाम वालेकुम या मौला या अबा अब्दिल्लाह रूही व जिस्मी व अरवाहुल आलमीन लकल फिदा इब्न रसूलिल्लाह। अस्सलामु अलल हुसैन व अला अली इब्न अल हुसैन व अला औलादिल हुसैन व अला अस्हाबिल हुसैन, खुसूसन सय्यदी व मौला अबुल फज़ल अब्बास व उख्तिका ज़ैनब व बिन्तिका सुकैना جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا شمس الشموس وأنيس النفوس، أيها المدفون بأرض توس، الرضا المرتضى الراضي بالقدر والقضاء، مولانا علي ابن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء. وفقنا الله لزيارتك يا مولاي، ورزقنا الله شفاعتك في الدنيا والآخرة. السلام عليك يا بنت ولي الله، السلام عليك يا أخت ولي الله، السلام عليك يا بنت ولي الله، السلام عليك يا بنت فاطمة وخديجة، السلام عليك يا بنت الحسن والحسين، السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله، السلام عليك يا بنت أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة بنت باب الحوائج موسى بن جعفر ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم أجل لوليك الفرج. السلام عليك يا حجة الله، يا ابن الحسن، يا صاحب الزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله سيدي ما وعدك من النصر وظهور الأمر ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك التوى وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. الفاتحة مع الصلوات.